Hey everybody, welcome. I'm Deanna, and I have a special friend, a very dear friend of mine, Becky Bertuzzi with BSquared Digital and Design. She is joining me today. As I mentioned yesterday, every day this week and next week, and for however long we need to do this, I'm going to be bringing another friend on board and just talking about how this pandemic and everything that's going on is affecting all of us, right? Especially business owners. But yesterday I spoke to RJ Thompson. If you happen to catch a glimpse, first off, it was a technical nightmare. So I'm hoping this one is going to be much better. But he really did have some great information. And we talked about colleges, the college students and educators and all the changes. Today I have Becky with me, and Becky is pretty much my right arm more times than not. I'm always throwing things out, like bouncing ideas off her, but she does help me with the Entrepreneur Society. And this month she is talking about video and the importance of video. And so I kind of wanted to bring her on today and just talk about video right now, because video is blowing up on the internet, right? Like, we've been preaching it for how long? You've got to do video. You've got to do video.
Yeah, like video, and nothing like a global pandemic to actually get people to do video.
But you know what? I will say that I've seen people who I know I've told and you've told, because obviously they're in similar circles, and we would talk about the importance of going live or just uploading a video. And you get that look of terror on their face, like there's no way they're going to do it. And right now they're doing it and they're rocking it. Right?
Yeah, I mean, people are always like, oh, I can't do video. It's not polished. And, I think when people think video, they think, sitting down with a videographer, and there's nothing wrong with that. I have a lot of friends that are videographers, and they do very well. But there is just this unspoken almost rule on social media that, when you do go live or you are posting video content, it doesn't have to be perfect. We've been talking about that for a very long time, but, people are always concerned, like, oh, I'm going to mess up. Well, I mean, you're not Mary Poppins. You're going to screw up, Sorry, I just watched Mary Poppins last week, so that's
I know. I'm like, you keep talking about Mary Poppins. This movie made quite an impression on you.
It doesn't have to be perfect. And I think the less perfect it is, the more real it shows that you are as a brand. And I always go back to this, is you want to humanize your brand. So if you're showing people the real person or the real personality behind the brand through your videos, I think that goes so much further with engaging and connecting with your audience.
I absolutely agree. I really do. I think people, they want to see who you really are, not the polished version. They want to see who you are and what you're about, because we do business with people that we like, right? And when we're being authentic, our authentic selves, we're building that trust. People, somebody who may want to work with me may not want to work with you, or vice versa, because our personalities are very different.
Yeah.
I mean, we're very similar in a lot of ways, and what we do and how we think, but we do have very different personalities. And those personalities come through when you go live. So you're able to really connect with people who would want to work with you and get to know you.
Yeah. And I'm even drawn towards businesses that I know the people behind the business. If you're constantly just posting your product, or even if you're telling your story, but if I'm not seeing the person behind the brand, I don't know if I'm going to do business. I don't know if I'm more likely to do business with you. Whereas if I'm seeing the person that's behind the brand that started this from scratch, that's really out there promoting it, I'm more likely to do business with those types of brands and those types of companies that put themselves out there. And I think now, with the way that our business landscape has changed with the law. I mean, I'm in Ohio. We're on lockdown here, shelter in place. I like seeing the faces behind the businesses, just to check in, even if they are unfortunately closed, they're trying to pivot and work around it. It's just nice to see their faces and see how they're doing. And, check in on them.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. So let me ask you this. If somebody is watching this and they have not gone live, or they haven't recorded a video, they haven't really put themselves out there, what would you tell them?
Rip the Band-Aid off. Just do it. Just rip the Band-Aid off. There's no perfect time to go live. You just do it. Now, if you are planning on going live, one of the things that you can do on Facebook is you can let people know that you're going to go live. You did it. I did it today. We said that we were going to go live at 1 o'clock. So you can let your followers and your audience know that you are going to go live. And then, once you make that decision to do it, what I like to do when I'm going live is I like to have some talking points, and I usually tape them on the desk in front of me, or if I'm running it off of my phone and I have my phone in my tripod, I've got it on a Post-it note right below the tripod so that I can just look at it and keep talking through the live video. And the other thing that you want to make sure that you're doing is take a peek, see who's on. Sometimes you can see who pops on, shout them out. And if anybody's asking you questions in the comments, make sure that you address those questions. And you can always cover yourself and say, hey, if I didn't answer your question on this video, I'll pop into the comments and answer it for you. So those are just some really simple ways. And people think that, oh, I have to go live for a half an hour. No, you can go live for 5 minutes. That video is going to save onto Facebook. And it's just a different way. It's definitely one of the better ways to increase your engagement, because once you go live, everybody that follows your page, whether they engage with it or not, they're going to get notified that you've gone live. So you've got a better chance of them popping over and engaging with the content. Not to mention, once the live video is done, it's saved on your Facebook page for as long as you keep it on there.
Right. And you can repurpose that.
Yeah.
Which, for example, with the video that I did yesterday, although that's a little sketchy, and today, and videos I've done with my Ask Anything Friday, because every Friday we go on and do an Ask Anything Friday, I'll repurpose that. I put it on my YouTube channel for people to watch. I'll share it in my Facebook groups, on LinkedIn. I'll include it in my newsletter as well, right? And sometimes you can even pull content from it and create graphics. So you're coming up with a lot. I wanted to touch on something that you said earlier when you were talking about doing video. And even if somebody was watching on the replay, they can ask questions and encourage them to ask questions, and you can comment. I think now more than ever, you need to really engage, like comment, right? Respond back to people, because they want that human connection. And I've seen things, I don't know if you've seen them, I've seen more so bigger companies more than the small mom and pops, who have kind of just they've ghosted everybody. Like, they put out their coronavirus, we're closed, we're shut down, and like their social media has stopped. Yeah. Whereas the small business owners, it's like, no, they're engaging. Have you noticed that too?
Yeah, a lot of the bigger companies are like, yeah, like, we're going to close, see you later. We're not really doing anything. But it's really, and I feel like I've been talking about this ad nauseum since this thing has started, but just to see how creative and not reactive, maybe proactive is the better word, a lot of the local small businesses have been to make sure that they're still out there, that they're still at top of mind of their consumers. And I popped on to Dennis Schiraldi's live at noon before this, and he brought something up that kind of stuck with me. It's because of what's going on right now and what's considered essential and non-essential, you might not be able to sell your product, so to speak, but he was really talking about being kind and preaching kindness and reaching out to your clients and your customers and finding out, how are you doing through this? Because if somebody tells you that they're doing fine, they very well may be, but this is a huge change. And I don't know too many people, actually, I don't know any people that aren't affected by this in some way, whether it's, they know someone directly related that has the virus, or they are a healthcare worker. There's not a person that isn't affected by this. And so it's just nice to check in and see how everybody's doing. And
It's funny because, well, I did that this weekend. I emailed all my past customers, right? These are people that I no longer work with. They've moved on for whatever reason. And I emailed all of them and just said, is there anything I can help you with? And a couple emailed back and said, well, with everything going on, I'm really, I want to put things on hold. I don't really want to purchase anything. And I'm like, no, I'm not selling you anything. Like I want to help you. Do you have questions? Can I guide you? Like, what do you need? And some were like, no, we're great. Thanks for reaching out. And there were a few that were like, you know what? Can you help me? I've got just a couple questions. And I'm like, hell yeah. Like, yeah, we are all in this together. Like, so I love that Dennis said that I missed his live, but I love that he said that and shared that.
Yeah, I think that's probably, if you want to look at anything that's come from this from a positive perspective, because I'm always glass half full type of girl. And, one of the cool things is, even though we can't physically be in the same room as one another, or we can't, physically touch one another, like, I'm an extrovert. Not hugging people is friggin' killing me.
I'm the same way.
And, it's really cool to see how people are connecting with one another, how we're being kind, how we're trying to help one another out as a community, and how basically the universe has just told us, you guys need to slow down and be a lot nicer to one another than you've been in the past. And I really hope that continues once we're able to go outside and gather in groups of people. I want to see that continue. And I listened to the Unlocking Us podcast, Brene Brown's, and she said, what is our new normal going to look like? And she kind of talked about what our new normal was after September 11th. And I hope the new normal is that, we're kinder to one another. We do a better job of slowing down and reconnecting with people than we have, because, we've talked about it, that hustle mentality. And, I think that while it's good to want to work hard, I think sometimes that hustle mentality comes back and shoots us in the foot. Because
amen. Amen. I preach that the hustle's killing our business and us. We're getting burnt out. And I this time really is a regrouping. So Ashley Ray asked a question. It says, what are your preparations for going live?
Prep for going live. Actually, we did touch on this, but I'll talk about it again. On Facebook, what I would suggest you do is let everybody know that you are going to go live. So Deanna and I did this earlier this morning. We knew that we were going to go live at 1:00. We shared it out on our Facebook posts. If you are the one that's going to be going live, you want to have your talking points ready as to what your live video is going to be. And I either tape them on the desk in front of me if I'm doing a live from my laptop, or I'll tape them underneath the tripod if I'm going to do the live from my cell phone. And, just hit the talking points. If people are commenting while they're on your live, try and answer those while you're on your live. I always have the blanket statement, if I didn't catch your question, I'll be sure to comment or answer in the comments afterwards. The other thing that I didn't talk about is, and I've learned this the hard way, is the aspect ratio on your cell phone can sometimes get screwed up when you go live. So make sure, like, I had my phone, I was doing a live and it was this way and I thought that it was all right, but the text was actually on the side. And that's the telltale sign that when you hit the button to go live, that your video is going to go sideways. It will literally go sideways. So just double check, make sure your aspect's right before you hit that live button, so people aren't watching your video like this.
Right. I think we've all done that, Becky. I know I've been guilty of that too, right?
I've done it twice. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I've done it as well. So it does happen. And I mean, you kind of nailed it with everything that we do as far as preparation before I go live. And you and I, a lot of times when I go live, there is I don't want to say a script. There's a general idea of what we're going to talk about. If I'm doing a workshop or a webinar or something where I really want to get my point across, then I'll definitely have more notes about what I want to talk about. But if it's like this, it's like this conversation can go absolutely anywhere, anywhere. And I know I'm going to skip around because I think it was Kathy I saw asked, how did we get this split screen? It looks great. This is what Jan almost see. Oh, and I were trying to do last week. Okay, so to answer your question, this is a platform that I've used for quite a while now. It's called BeLive. It is a super cool platform. You have the ability to add on additional guests and go split screen. As you can see, I have the Let's Talk video banner at the bottom. I can also add, if I wanted to, I can add comments. And this is just a little bit of a commercial, I guess, for BeLive. So I can add the comments to the screen so that the viewers can see what we're talking about. So it's super cool. It's the basic plan is $30 a month. There is a link. I sent out an email as well, and on my blog, I have all the different tools that I use, and I think BeLive's on there. I hope it's on there, but it is pretty cool. If you want to do more lives and you want it to look a little bit more polished, I like BeLive. I don't have a problem with it. So that's how we do that. You also asked, Kathy, and I hope that, let me see if I understand the question, and Becky, maybe you can help me out. It says, we need to take this opportunity to make our voices heard. When the big guys aren't talking, we are. What quality content have the big guys put out? Is that a question that you want us to answer, or is that just a rhetorical question as far as what they're putting out?
I mean, I haven't, and I'll be very honest, I don't follow a ton of large companies. I follow the smaller companies, and I've seen, as we've said, I've seen a lot of the smaller companies still trying to reach out, talk to their followers and their audience, and just kind of check in and see how they're doing. Now, the only one that I can think of right off the top of my head is Starbucks, because I'm a coffee freak, and I do like Starbucks, and I've been seeing a lot of their posts around first responders and healthcare workers, but other than that, I mean, I've seen because the Olympics got pushed, they're repurposing a lot of content that they're getting from Olympians as to like what they're doing at home to continue to work out in quarantine. And so it's like some of that content's been kind of funny and lighthearted, but I really haven't seen a lot of the bigger brands as to what they're doing, just because I personally don't follow them.
I agree. And she did mention it was rhetorical, but I'm with you. I follow more of the mom and pops.
Yeah.
I'll go back and check out a brand. There's some brands, like I follow Wendy's on Twitter because they're just freaking funny. They are hysterical. And if you guys are on Twitter, there are some brands that just they put their humor out there on Twiter, and it's a lot of fun. It's a blast to kind of watch them. So
what's the one like vodka and tater tots or something like that?
Yeah, I follow her.
Yeah, I don't know if I follow. I don't get on Twitter a ton, but I know that you said that one was really good.
Yeah, vodka and tots. I don't think it was tater tots. I think she meant her kids, but I don't know. I don't because they do go hand in hand sometimes.
I think tots, and I'm immediately going to think food.
I don't know. That could be what it was. Yeah, I followed her for probably about 6 or 7 years, I think. So I'm not even sure if that's still her Twitter handle or not. But I'm going to go check it out and see.
Yeah.
So, I saw a couple people comment about, is this like going to be our new normal? And hopefully it's not. And Ashley put new normal, right? This is a new discussion topic in itself. And you know what? I don't think this is going to be our new normal. I think we're going to go back to what's normal, but I
Oh, thanks, Caroline. So I guess Deanna froze out. Maybe she'll come back. So I'm gonna run this solo here for a second. Actually, you said new normal. I think this has shown us that we were able to still continue to conduct business using technology and video, and that's all well and good. But I hope it doesn't become the new normal. I hope that we're able to still go into the office and conduct business as we did before this. Uh, we kind of have to adapt right now because of the social distancing that everybody's been asking to do. Hey, buddy, welcome back.
Oh my God! I hope that what was coming out of my mouth was not there.
No, it wasn't there.
Because I was. Oh my! Here's the downfall of being in Montana. Right? Is that so many things we take for granted are not here. Like good internet connection, although it hasn't been terrible. It's not what I'm used to. And all the times I complained about Armstrong when I was in Youngstown, I won't ever complain about again being out here. So sorry about that. Thanks for taking the
I thought that I was kicked off too, and then Caroline texted me and she goes, "Nope, you're still on." I'm like, "Okay, running with it."
So I guess there's always going to be some sort of technical glitch. Whatever. Thanks, guys, for rolling with us on this.
No, so I was just kind of talking to what Ashley said about the new normal and hoping that this doesn't become our new normal. I mean, the technology is great and it's nice to be able to connect with people, but I really miss being in the same room with my friends.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, it's been fun doing, do you do happy hour with your friends?
Yeah, so actually we've been doing happy hour at my big kid job. I work for a construction company, and the last 2 Fridays we've done a virtual happy hour, and we're going to do one this Thursday because our office is closed on Friday. And then I'm actually going to do a happy hour with my friends again tonight through Zoom. And I've done a bunch of them. I mean, it's not the same thing, but it's better than not talking to people.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. And I'm like you, I'm a hugger, and I like that interaction. I like that energy being around people, and it's tough, not being able to see or go out or do different things. So it's been a little bit tough, but video has made it a lot better doing things like this, using Zoom to meet with friends and family and whoever, right? Meetings, things like that. So
yeah,
it's been pretty cool.
It's been necessary, but yeah, like I said, I hope this isn't the new normal.
Yeah, me too. So anyhow, if you guys have any other questions, if you're watching this on the replay, feel free to ask. I'll be sure to answer them, or I'll pull Becky in to answer them if I need her. Becky, I want to thank you for joining me today. This was fun.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun. Of course, always love having you on and chatting with you on here. So thank you, and I hope everybody has an amazing day. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.